I suspect Warren Buffett's going to be buying a lot of stock next year.
At this point, would it really be such a huge surprise if we find out that Warren Buffett has been buying Tesla stock? Look at this. This is Warren Buffett selling BYD in the summer, July 12th, then September 2nd, then November 4th, selling again, and then December 13th, just about 10 days ago, selling more BYD stock. And to understand why Elon Musk possibly implied that Warren Buffett would be buying Tesla stock, we need to understand the context under which Elon said all of this, so let's dive in deeper.
But then but so like that's why I was trying to emphasize, like, but from a long-term standpoint, like there's a natural economic cycle that happens, and frankly, we're overdue for a recession. It's like shocking that we haven't had like a serious recession since, in recession in any meaningful sense of the word, since 2009. That's like 13 years. Like, wow. So this is like it just economic cycles are just the way the economy works. Like you have up and down cycles, and it's just the way things go. So we're somewhat overdue for that. I mean, I was talking to Brett Johnson, who's the CFO of SpaceX, and he was telling me about when he was at Broadcom in 2000. And Broadcom was Broadcom's a good company making good products. It's not like Pets.com. So and I was like, yeah, it's pretty wild how when there's when there's panic in the stock market, like how much even high quality company stocks can drop. And he was like, yeah, when he was at Broadcom, the stock dropped 97%. I was like, wow, that's a lot. That subsequently recovered to, I think, above its previous all-time high. But when there's extreme panic in the markets, like things can go to like ridiculous levels. I'm not saying that they will, but this is a thing that has happened in the past.
Like that would be a buying opportunity of a lifetime. Do you know that company, Amazon, that most people use to buy stuff online? Yeah, back in 1999, it was actually about $5 per share at one brief moment, and it dropped more than 90% from an all-time high, only to skyrocket later, and even if you sold now, you would be up 1,800%. Works for me. And I personally believe that Tesla is a much more important company and is going to be much more bigger than Amazon. And the bottom did last for, quite a while. So the buying opportunity lasts for quite a while. But if you bought, let's say, maybe not exactly at the bottom, but let's say pretty close to the bottom, how much of a return would you have now? I'm not even talking about the top peak. This is ridiculous. I'm just talking about right now. 212x to over 200x on your money if you bought closer to the bottom. Now, this motivates me a lot to make a whole bunch of money during this recession, which I will put, where? Into Tesla stock. Just to be clear, this is not financial advice, this is not a prediction or anything like that. But I believe there are some sort of similarities that could potentially play out here.
That's why I've been very much encouraging people to avoid buying stock on margin, and just avoid margin debt, because you just don't know if there's going to be some panicky situation in the stock market.
Well, we got the panicky situation in the stock market before we got the recession, it seems.
In the long term, only fundamentals matter, which fundamentally that would be the earnings. That is why Amazon eventually recovered, because fundamentally it was a good, sound company, and it just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and eventually the market realized that and then rewarded Amazon tremendously. And then Jeff Bezos, the former CEO of Amazon, stepped down. Can you guess where he stepped down? If you guessed, somewhere between that recent big drop, you would be right. I'm not saying it's just purely because Jeff stepped down, Amazon stock dropped. I'm not saying that's the main reason, but I can't help but wonder, would Amazon stock still drop so much? So I do not want Elon Musk to step down as CEO of Tesla. I want Elon Musk to stay, hopefully another 10 years or more, as CEO of Tesla. And I 100% agree with Elon. I do not want to use margin ever, even on companies that seem sound and strong with strong fundamentals. Amazon dropped more than 90%. So if you used anything more than just 7% margin, you would have lost everything. If you use margin, I respect you, but I'm just not that brave. I'm not going to do it.
So it's like just I guess like Warren, what's that? Warren Buffett's got a lot of great sayings, but, but because this is a sort of thing where I suspect Warren Buffett's going to be buying a lot of stock next year, because if a company has like very strong fundamentals, but then the market is doing some short-term panic situation, obviously that's the right time to buy stock. And like I stand by my prediction that Tesla will be the most valuable company in the world. I'm actually pretty confident that will be the case, but I just can't predict with accuracy the stock price between now and then.
If Tesla drops about 95% from its peak, which at the peak Tesla stock was about $407, Tesla stock would be $20 per share roughly, and Tesla's price to earnings ratio would be significantly under 10, which is absolutely ridiculous. Depending on how the earnings would look like at the moment, which, by the way, during a recession, Tesla's earnings likely are going to be temporarily wiped out if Tesla needs to significantly reduce prices because auto demand is collapsing, no one wants to buy luxury vehicles, and if interest rates go up even higher, no one can afford vehicles. Temporarily, earnings may drop, but that is, I believe, a temporary thing, not a long-term thing. So Tesla's PE ratio could drop as low as to 7 or 6 or even 5 or even lower. At this level, I can't imagine how someone like Warren Buffett look at this and not go, wow. Even at 92 years old, Tesla stock excites me. Something has to go up. Tesla stock has to go up at this point. He may not say it, but that's exactly what he is going to be thinking. For Tesla to have a PE ratio anything lower than that of S&P 500, the largest 500 companies in the United States of America, is just plain ridiculous because these companies are not growing as fast as Tesla. The faster the company grows, the higher the price to earnings ratio is supposed to be. You can see that the mean price to earnings ratio for S&P 500 is 16. So Tesla dropping below this level would be mind-bogglingly ridiculous. You would have to believe that Tesla growth, it's over. Just look at how slow the earnings of S&P 500 are growing. In about 10 years, they roughly doubled only. And how did the stock do during roughly the same period? It went up to about 200-ish%. Gary Black expects the earnings of Tesla to increase by about 7.5 times from 2022 to 2030. And that's with 10 million vehicles delivered per year, although the average selling price may be a little high. Although I think Gary includes full self-driving option, which he just treats it as driver assist package. He calculates that into his average selling price, I believe. which inflates the average selling price. But you can see if you assume that this is actually going to become true, then you are getting a bargain of a century currently at current prices. If Tesla stock does not move from where it is right now, Tesla's PE ratio in 2030 would be 3.8. And if Tesla drops 80% more from where we are today, and if you use these exact same projections of earnings into 2030, then Tesla's PE ratio, if Tesla stock price would be 80% lower than where it is today, Tesla's PE ratio would be less than 1 in 2030. That's the wild full self-driving, by the way. If the price of Tesla stock does not go up, but only goes down, at some point, Warren Buffett has to buy Tesla stock. It just becomes too good of a deal to ignore at some point. So, of course, I'm dollar cost averaging. I'm buying more Tesla stock, and these are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt Poises. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.